What we're going to do is create the roof for our shed, and you should have something that resembles what I have. And the first thing we're going to do is come over here to the floor plans, and we're going to go to that roof layer. And we're going to create our roof. And much like we did with our walls, when we click roof up here in the architecture tab, we're going to have to create a roof style. So let's hit edit type, let's hit duplicate, and let's just call this shed roof all in caps. Okay, edit. And right now we just have a generic 1 foot thick roof, which is pretty thick. And if we go and look at this picture of what roofs are made out of, what we have is we have our plywood sheathing that is down, and then we have some felt paper, roof decking felt paper that goes over it, and then we have our shingles, okay? And we built our shed roof out of 2x4s. This looks like 2x6s. And if you think back to our shed, we had just 2x4s for our roof truss, so that's what we're going to do. And we're going to put down our plywood sheathing and our asphalt shingles. We're going to kind of ignore this this felt paper because it's only 0.05 inches thick. It's not really going to change anything. We'll put it in our roof section. But for now, we're going to ignore it. So what we're going to do is first we're going to change our structure layer. We're going to find that softwood lumber again, just like we did for our walls, and we change our thickness to 3.5 inches. Insert a layer above. This is our substrate. This is going to be our plywood sheathing. Okay. And this is going to be 5/8 is what we're going to use for our plywood for our roof. And let's move this up above the core boundary. And then we're going to insert one more layer. Remember, we're going to skip that felt layer. All right. And we're going to do a finish. Whoop. Finish one. Our material, I believe we have some asphalt shingles in here. There we are. And remember, since we're going to be seeing this, we're going to use our render appearance. I'm sorry. Okay. And our thickness for those is going to be 0.25. Okay. So now what we're going to do is actually click on our roof. Now before we do that, you have to make sure that your overhang is set to 6 inches. Okay. And we're going to simply pick our walls. And when I do that, I could either have this dashed line on the inside or outside of my house. I want to make sure it's on the outside. And as I go around and click my walls, it's going to join them together and clean up my joints. But the other thing I want to notice is this little symbol right here and the 912. What this is the slope of the roof that we've created. Right now we created a 912 roof. And if you think back to our shed, all right, our shed, whoop, wrong class, is a 712. And here's just a diagram of roof pitches. Your 7 is your rise and your 12 is your run. The bottom number is always over 12 when we're dealing with roof pitches. And if we look at to our 712, it's kind of a not so steep of a roof. And we go up to the other ones, a 912, a 1212, and even a 1612. They get much steeper, okay, when we start doing our roofs. And here's kind of another picture you could see. So 712 isn't terrible for the steepness, but it's not the steepest like a 1212 or anything higher than that. So we got to change this to a 712, what we just did. And all we have to do is go right here and change this 9 to a 7. Escape. There we go. I had to escape twice. 7, 7, 7. All right, now before you get click crazy, remember this front and this back is my gable end. What does that mean? Well, watch if I just green check this and I look at my roof. Right now, I have a hip roof. Oh no, we have a gable roof that goes on our house. So let's go back to that roof level. Let's click on our roof. Let's hit edit footprint and let's change it. So to get rid of the sloping on all 4 sides, I have to click on my gable ends and take off my slope. By doing that, I uncheck define slope. I click on my other side, define slope, green check. Oh yeah. And now we look at it, and okay, we solved one problem. We have a gable roof, but now we have another. Lots of birds and animals are going to get into this the shed, which isn't very good. So what we're going to do is we need to attach these walls up to the top of the roof. So I'm going to click on a wall. Instead of clicking each one, I'm going to right click. I'm going to do select all instances in entire project. So I selected all my walls. And then up here is attach top base. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click on my roof. And what that did was it joined all my walls to my roof, and I cleaned them up real nice.